Welcome to Beyond Kings 80 Education and Training. Seed Changer in Teaching. 8. Receive wisdom this morning for winning. Receive wisdom this morning for winning. Receive wisdom this afternoon for winning. Receive wisdom this afternoon for winning. Receive power to overcome them all for winning. Receive power to overcome them all for winning. 8. Our topic today is concerning. 8. Our topic today is concerning the authority in the family within the knowledge content. The authority in the family within the knowledge content. 8. The family is the basic unit of human society. Within it, a husband and a wife can find rewarding compassionship, and children can be safeguarded and trained for adulthood. Verse 5 verse 15 to 21. Ephesians 6 verse 1 to 4. Such a noble arrangement need to be organized in a way that enables family members to live in peace and harmony. Jehovah's way of accomplishing this is through the principle of headship summed up in His word found at 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. The head of every man is Christ. In turn, the head of a woman is a man. In turn, the head of the Christ is God. The husband is the family head. However, there is a head above him, Jesus Christ. Paul wrote, husband, continue loving your wife just as the Christ also loved the congregation and delivered up himself for it. Ephesians 5 verse 25. A husband reflects his subjection to Christ when he treats his wife in the way that Jesus has always treated the congregation. 1 John 2 verse 6. Great authority has been conferred upon Jesus, but he excuses it with the ultimate gentleness, love, and reasonableness. Matthew 20 verse 25 to 28. As a man, Jesus never abused his position of authority. He was male, temperate, and lowly in heart, and he called his followers friends rather than slaves. I will refresh you, he promised them, and that is what he did Matthew 11 verse 28 to 29, John 15 verse 15. Jesus' example teaches us that Christ's headship is not a position of horse dimension. Instead, it is one of respect and self-sacrificing love that would clearly rule out mistreating and made physically or verbally. Ephesians 4 verse 29 to 34, roll down to 32. 8. Roll down again to 5 to 28, again. Go down again to 29. Colossians 3 verse 19. If a Christian man were thus to mistreat his wife, his other good works would be variable, and his prayers would be added. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 1 to 3. 1 Peter 3 verse 7. When a husband eliminates Christ's example, it is easier for his wife to imply what the word of Ephesians 5 verse 22 to 23. Let wives be in subjection to their husband as to the Lord, because the husband is head of his wife, as Christ also is head of the congregation. Just as the husband is to be submissive to Christ, a wife must be in subjection to her husband. The Bible also makes it clear that capable wife merit honor and grace for the godly wisdom and increases. Verse 31 verse 10 to 31. A Christian wife's subjection to her husband is relative. This means that God rather than men must be obeyed if submitting in a certain matter would result in a validating divine law. Even then a wife form a standing shall be tempered with a quiet and male spirit. It would be evident that the knowledge of God has made her a matter. Why? 1 Peter 3 verse 1 to 4. The same would be true of a Christian man whose wife is an unbeliever, is accomplished with bearable principles shall make him a better husband. Ephesians 6 verse 1 outline the rule of children is studying. Be obedient to your parents in union with the Lord, for this is obedience. Christian children follow the example of Christ, of Jesus Christ, who recommended subject to his parents as he grew up as an obedient boy or girl. He wants and progressing in wise wisdom and in physical rules and in favor with God and men. Luke 2 verse 51 to 52. The way parents handle their responsibility may have a bearing on whether their children will respect authority or will rebel against it. Verse 22 verse 6. So parents my well as themselves do excuse my authority lovingly or orderly, and are my perception. A godly parent is expected to be loving and considerate, yet firm in authority to godly principles. Approximately, Paul wrote, Father, do not be irritating your children, littering, provoking them to wait, but to go on bringing them up in the discipline and method requiring of Jehovah. Ephesians 6 verse 4, Colossians 3 verse 21. Parents shall supervise their training method, especially if they desire their children be obedient and though bring them joy. Verse 23 verse 24 to 25. In the Bible, discipline is prominent a form of instruction. Both 4 verse 1 to 8 to 33. It is linked with love and mildness, not with anger, and directly honest. Christians parents need to act with wisdom and keep themselves under restraint with disciplining the children. Both 1 verse 7 to you and the household as you begin to act to make sure knowing it who is your wife, as you begin to make sure knowing it who is your husband. Hey, you are in position to ask the environment before you make choices of where to go. Buddha in position as well. Indeed in position. How has God proved for good others in the Christian congregation? Why shall we be submissive to appointed Christian elders? And why is this being manufactured? How do appointed elders seek to follow Christian spiritually? 8. How can children imitate the example Jesus set when he was a youth? The way parents excuses authority may have what effect on their children. How shall parental discipline be demonstrated? 8. To you and to your household. How does the knowledge of God help a wife to be submissive to her husband? How would you explain the principle of the hardship? Who is the family head and what can be learned from Jehovah, from Jesus' way of submitting headship? 8. To you and the other authority in the family. The authority in the family within the knowledge content. The authority in the family within the knowledge content. To you and the household is all about you what to make sense and leaving the rest that don't make sense and sharing it to others so it will make sense to them as it begins to make sense to them. Indeed, it will make sense to you. So there's no way of you just keeping it. Yes, you don't understand. As you share it, just is not making sense. Have you comment on it and see who is going to make sense to you? Game at the station. Hey.